Sunday was a good day for Red Bull as they picked up their second successive Grand Prix win courtesy of Mark Webber and another Silverstone victory. However, it was a slightly bittersweet result with Sebastian Vettel going off on lap 1, as team principal Christian Horner recalls.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a busy weekend, but to win the British Grand Prix, the team's local race with so many members of the factory there to see the cars running, was a great performance. It was a great shame that we didn't have both cars on the podium after Sebastian got the puncture on the first lap, but he still had a tremendous recovery drive and did very, very well to get back into the points.
Despite the results, the front wing debate remains the big talking point. Can Christian briefly sum up just what was going on?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a lot has been made of the wing issue, and in many ways it's sort of been blown a little bit out of proportion. We had a new development front wing to look at this weekend in Silverstone, slightly different in concept, to open another development direction for Adrian and his aerodynamicist. We had one front wing on Friday. Both drivers tried it. It wasn't clear or obvious on Friday whether it was better or worse. Certainly Sebastian seemed to have a more positive feel, and on Mark's side of the garage they were a little more dubious about it, but it was agreed that we would test it again on Saturday morning in the final practice, by which time the second one had arrived so that we had enough wings to supply both cars. Unfortunately, we had a nose box failure on Sebastian's car through no fault of his own, just on the straight the nose came disconnected from the chassis, and that damaged the front wing so that it was unrunnable. At that stage we also thought that the wing on Mark Webber's car had an issue, had a crack in it, and so that was also removed from his car. So basically at that stage both cars were due to run on front wing 68, which was the previous specification, and then basically half an hour before qualifying, having done the non-destructive test, the X-ray effectively at the track on the one nose that was okay, Adrian came to me and was very keen to run that nose to get more data, to get more information. Unfortunately, with only one component, it was then very difficult to make a decision as to which side of the garage it should go to. And basically, after discussing it with Adrian, we felt that championship performance, or championship position, plus the performance in P3, where Sebastian had been the marginally quicker car, that it was the logical route, and obviously a difficult and uncomfortable situation, but in the benefit of the team to move forward and get the information, that the fairest way was to place it with the car that was highest in the Drivers' Championship, which was Sebastian on this occasion. Obviously both drivers wanted the wing. We couldn't cut it in half, and that left Mark feeling obviously slightly annoyed that he didn't have the wing, but it was a situation where you were never going to keep both drivers totally 100% happy. And sometimes, as a team principal, you have to make difficult decisions, but basing it on logic, in discussion and agreement with Adrian, seemed the right and fair way to deal with it.
But why were there only 2 front wings available in the first place?
Well, the plan is, because the development we're pushing so hard, basically we had only 2 wings because the guys had to build another car. After the Valencia accident, they had to build pretty much a complete new car, so production have just worked unbelievably hard. We had an update on the F-duct, which worked really well, which obviously we got onto both cars. So, production here at Red Bull has been under massive stress over the last 2 weeks, and the team effort has just been phenomenal. And it's a great shame. It's the first time we've been in a situation where we only had one component and 2 cars. And to penalise the team by not running that component was information we couldn't afford to give away. So we needed to run it, we needed to get the information, and it was a question of, which car does it go on?